Off the line. This is Ron Finkelstein, and welcome to the Institute for Business Growth. I'd invite you to check out our website, www.instituteforbusinessgrowth.com. That's all one word. And you can download your free report, 11 Reasons Why People Don't Buy From You. The Sales Accelerator podcast was created to share best practices that allow businesses to grow sales and increase revenue. Think of it as conversations with business owners by business owners. Each week we have an expert who implemented a strategy, tactic, or program in their business to grow sales and increase revenue. Today we're talking to Brent Balika from SciTech Systems. Welcome, Brett.
Hi, Ron.
Brett, tell us a little bit about you and your company, so we can get a little bit of context about who you are and what you do.
Sure thing. SciTech Systems, we're a systems integration and engineering firm, and we help our customers by applying hardware and software to achieve manufacturing excellence. So we do factory floor automation, mechanical automation with machinery, as well as updating control systems, and also interfacing to manufacturing execution systems via a lot of different methods.
It sounds like you have a very complex product and a very complex sales process.
Our products can be complex, and our sales process, I'd like to think that it's pretty simple and easy to execute for us, but just because we've done it a lot.
Okay, so tell us, what was the situation that occurred in your business that made you realize you had to do something different?
Yeah, early on, we didn't grow very much. We didn't grow our top line revenue, and obviously our bottom line revenue was stagnant with that, and we weren't really to industry standard on gross profit. So we had some issues generating top-line revenue, but we also had some issues maximizing our profit and our potential in the marketplace.
So I would imagine part of that impacted who you could hire, the kinds of people you were hiring. What was the impact of not making your numbers?
Yeah, you hit it right on the nail. You hit the nail right on the head. You know, we didn't grow as a company from a personnel standpoint. And it was also limit us in what we could offer to our customers. You know, the financial picture needs to show growth, be stable in order to secure loans and things that you need from a capital standpoint to take on larger and more in-depth projects. So it was hampering, throughout the business, and something had to be done.
Okay, so what was it that you decided to do?
Well, we looked at a lot of different things. We looked at hiring, salespeople, direct marketing campaigns, and things like that. But I happened to have a coach at the time, business coach, and he offered up, Brent, you know more about your organization and capability than anybody else you could bring in. Why don't you try and tool up your sales skill set and see if you can't enhance that top line.
So what did you decide to do to fix your tool set, so to speak?
Yeah, so we looked at, like sales conferences and things like that, but having been kind of a student of many different disciplines, I know that if you want to get good at something, it takes repetitions. And that a simple 1-day, 2-day, 3-day seminar wasn't going to change behaviors. It wasn't going to change processes. And in the end, it may be a short-term shot in the arm, but it wasn't going to be a long-term fix.
Okay, so how did you decide on the system that you were going to use, and how did you decide on the sales trainer? And then lastly, what was the outcome that you wanted to get from this training?
Well, what I wanted to get was, we'll start at the top then. How did I make that decision? Interviewed a few different potential sales trainers and systems, and being a technical systems person, what I was really looking for was a system, something that could be applied, could be measured, where different standards along the way could be applied, not just the end result number, because that only tells a very small part of the story. Even if that's a wildly big number, if you don't have some measures along the way, you don't really know where that came from. So looking for something where there was measurables along the road, things we could gauge incremental performance by, and then have the top line revenue number kind of take care of itself.
Okay, so once you decided all that, what was the action that you finally decided on?
Well, I signed up and enrolled in a sales school that was, many opportunities for exposure over many different topics. There's a lot of different things to sales, and this really wasn't marketing. It was purely just sales. How do you get yourself situated and get yourself presented in front of a customer and really tell the story of who you are and listen to who they are and find out where the fits are. So that was a really new kind of concept. And in SciTech, even now we really aren't trying to sell anything to anyone. We want to engage in a conversation and find out if there's a fit, because with what we do, there's a lot of demand. And it really comes down to, are we a fit with our potential customer from a technology standpoint, from a compatibility, and also a financial standpoint. What we do is it's expensive, but once implemented or executed, pays dividends for 15, 20, 30 years. So it's kind of a unique proposition.
So the sales training that you took, it gave you an opportunity to get clear on your value proposition, how to identify a need in the market, and also to qualify the prospect to find out whether or not they were a fit, financially, business-wise, and any other.
Yeah, and what you touched on right there at the end, the qualifying a prospect, that really had the most benefit for where we were going. We were spending a lot of time with prospects and quoting and doing things that weren't ever going to come to fruition for one reason or another. But it really came down to either the customer wasn't qualified or the project itself wasn't qualified. So we go through, I'm not going to say an extensive process, but we do quite a bit of upfront information gathering and thinking and qualifying before we jump in and start working on quotes and doing all the mechanics of the project work.
How much time did that save you? Because your product can be complex, and it's probably not an inexpensive process to create a proposal when you have to think through all the implications or any drawings that you have to work on. How much time did that actually save you by working only on qualified opportunities?
Oh, we cut our exposed time by at least 50%.
That's a huge number.
Oh, huge number. It was amazing how much that freed us up to then really focus on those good opportunities, put our best foot forward, and really, we were talking about winning jobs and then percentages of profit. When you really take time and you focus on those qualified opportunities, your bids, proposals, quotes, whatever you want to talk about it, now you're investing time in those and they're more accurate. We weren't missing things, and it really helped, the bottom line in that percentage of revenue.
Let me ask you a question. What did you learn from a qualification process after your training that you didn't know before?
Just the depth of questions that you really need to ask. We were asking a lot of technical questions when we first were, before we got through, the training program. And now there's a lot more questions about the potential market. What's the real return on investment? What about labor, quality, ergonomics, safety, health and safety issues? There's there's so much more that has to get rolled into it, and sometimes we're being educated by our customer on specific things of their industry, and sometimes we're educating our customer on industry standards and what's acceptable and what's not. And a lot of times in that dialogue back and forth, things are revealed both ways that help justify the cost of doing a project. It's a lot of times with older equipment that's being either repurposed or rebuilt or revamped, the safety expectations today are a lot different than when that piece of equipment was built. So we bring that to the table as well, that, here's a tangible cost, if this machine is not up to standard and an exposure. So we can find some budget money for engineers and that way too. So we learned a lot about, it's not just the task at hand, that specific job. There's a lot of other tangential things that need to go into it to make something go.
Let me see if I can summarize. From a prospecting perspective, you learn to make sure, is the budget there? Does the person you're talking to have the authority? Is the need been identified? And has a time frame been identified for the project?
Right on.
Okay.
Right on.
So the important point for our listeners is that when you're qualifying an opportunity, get clear on the budget, timing, need, and whether or not you're talking to a decision maker. So let's begin wrapping this up a little bit, Brent. What was the results that you achieved by implementing this new sales process with a focus on prospecting?
Well, right off the bat, in about a year, we doubled our sales, and we added another 10% gross margin. So things on just the number side of things definitely were going in the right direction. So now we had more capital internally to do more training, buy software, and expand our reach into different technologies and different opportunities. Just having the confidence in that, that top line revenue, we can get there because we have a process, really helped us with booking business and backlogging too. That was a big problem in our business before that, was taking everything in, as immediately as we could, because we didn't have confidence that we had a process that would generate top line revenue.
Oh, gotcha.
So having that confidence of being able to do that means, with this project, we can't fit it in. We can't get, a good focus on your project. So, but we know maybe we have to turn this one away, but we know because our process works that, 6 months from now, we'll be able to run through our process and generate top line revenue. So it helps us control that growth, which for us is key because we don't want to grow just for growth's sake. We are absolutely dependent on our people, and so it's more key for us to find good quality fits than it is anything else. We know that our top line generating process works, so we go out in the market and we look for compatible people that want to work inside our system and with our customers and do the kind of business we do. And when we find those fits, we bring them on board and we have confidence that we can go out and then generate the top line revenue it takes to support that growth.
It sounds like that you went from a technical company to a business company.
Yeah, and it's very interesting because I remember the day, kind of clear as a bell, that I decided to actually be a business owner. There was a lot of things going on that were problematic and extremely stressful, and I just knew that was not going to be a sustainable path. And in 2002, when I started the business, things were really good and we had a lot going on, but I needed to establish the fact that it's a business and make that decision. And that decision carried us through even 2008, 2009, because we were functioning in a way that we had confidence in our processes, and we knew that the market's going to go up, it's going to go down, demand's going to be there, and it's not. and we know how to take advantage of it when it is.
Good. So let's wrap this up. Tell me, what's next for you? What's your next big success you have planned here?
Yeah, so we're really excited about, we've just become a certified integrator for a software product called Ignition. And we're really excited about that because it's going to open up a lot of opportunities, not only for us, but for our customers, where we're able to push parameter data down to machines, and we're able to bring performance data up out of equipment. And it's a wonderfully flexible product that we can implement on fully automatic lines right down to manual fixtures. And our customers can take advantage of knowing that their process is in control, that it's performing to the right standards, and that they're using the right work rules, that they've got the right materials. It really brings all that together and instills a lot of confidence and helps the overall performance of any manufacturing facility. And we're really excited about that because it opens up new opportunities and avenues for older equipment that needs to be reestablished or repurposed, that still has life left in it, and we can take an older piece of equipment, put it right in line, and push and pull data back and forth. So it's really exciting, and we've been implementing it, but now having that certification is great.
It's official.
Yep.
For anybody that wants to reach you, what is the best way for them to contact you? Sales@SciTechSystems.net, or my personal email, bbalika@SciTechSystems.net. Fantastic. I would encourage our listening audience to reach out to Brent, very knowledgeable, as you can tell. If you would like to learn more, we have at the Institute for Business Growth, www.instituteforbusinessgrowth, you can download our free report, 11 Reasons Why People Won't Buy From You. I look forward to having the next story for you. I think you're going to enjoy that as well.